Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back to Take Time for Torah, 5 Minutes with Rabbi Gaber. This week, I begin with the counting of the Omer. From the second night of Passover through Shavuot, we count each day the Omer, representative of the first early harvest of barley that was brought to the temple. This counting of the Omer also creates a very strong connection between the exodus from Egypt on Passover and the celebration of the giving of Torah at Mount Sinai on Shavuot. In a sense, it's a time we prepare for the receiving of the Torah. In Hasidic tradition, they assign each of the 7 weeks a different sphira, a different aspect of God. 7 in total. This week is Tiferet, or glory, or the glory of God's throne. And it comes to us, it's associated with us in this idea or concept of balance. The first 2 weeks are Chesed and Gevurah or Din, loving kindness and justice. How do we find a balance between loving kindness and justice? How do we find a balance in our lives? Can we find a balance between our pride and our humility? You see, someone who is too prideful is arrogant. People shy away. They don't want to be associated. And someone who is too humble can be walked all over like a doormat. So we have to find a healthy pride and a healthy humility and a balance for the two. And that's what we're seeking. I learned this week of the verse from the story of Jacob's ladder, and this ladder that ascended from earth to heaven. And based on that verse, I learned the following verse for contemplation. People are ladders rooted on earth with their heads in heaven. I think that says it all. We have to understand that we are rooted on earth, but at the same time we can dream in heaven. We find a balance in our lives. In this week's Torah portion, Parshat Emor, we learn in chapter 21, verse 6, that they shall not profane the name of the Lord. They shall honor God. In a sense, they bring their honor to God and God's gifts. In our Eitz Chaim Chumash, there's a commentary that's brought to us that says the following. Beyond the specifics of Jewish law, we are obligated to act in a way that reflects well on God, the Jewish people, and ourselves, and our traditions. And that we should refrain from those acts which dishonor God, the Jewish people, our traditions, and ourselves. We find a way in which we can act in this world in appropriate and right ways. The big news story of this week, of course, is the death of Osama bin Laden. How should we act? Should we be elated that he died? Should we be sad that there are those who will never come back because of the terrorist attacks that he masterminded? I'm not sure. This is something I've struggled with all week. We should be very glad that our soldiers came back safe and sound, and in a sense that justice was done. But we should not celebrate. Celebration would denote a sense of arrogance that we are better than someone else. In this case, no one is better than anyone else. We treated Osama bin Laden's body with respect according to Islamic tradition. That's appropriate for him and for us. You see, the moment that we stoop down to the level of terrorists and act with disrespect is the moment that we lose balance, that we lose Tiferet. In the end, it's what we need to do that reflects upon ourselves for the better. You know, I'll share with you, when someone offers you, I'll share with you a practice for this coming week. When someone shares with you praise and praises you, instead of just saying thank you or, oh, I knew that, why don't you begin by thanking God for giving you the ability to be able to do something like that? Or to say that it's my mitzvah to do, or it's that my obligation and I'm glad to do it, and thank the person. You see, there is an idea that in this world we each take up a certain amount of space. We can take up all of the space through our pride and in our arrogance, or we can take up no space at all through our complete humility, or we can find the right balance to share space with others. That, my friends, is Tiferet, the ability for us to find balance and to share the space of this world with each other. Shabbat Shalom.